see if I can do this in one take, because I really don't have time to be doing this. And the idea of even making a YouTube video and talking into a camera is just awkward for me. But I feel that I'm compelled to, just because I'm just so shocked at what I heard. This is in response to this video that I saw by this girl, I can't remember her name, but she's going on basically insulting fat people. And I see what she's going for. She's kind of going for like a Jenna Marbles type of thing, like, oh, I'm a pretty girl on camera that's talking shit and swearing and blah blah blah, look at me, look at my tits. But Jenna Marbles does it way better, and she's not a bitch about it. Okay, maybe if you want to be a comedian and go for that shock value, insulting fat people, but let's call it what it is. It's bullying. And it's not even original. It's something that I've heard since I was a little kid on the playground, and it hasn't changed. Oh my god, I'm fat. Oh my god, I'm going to crush you with my weight. Get over it. You have no right to say anything about anybody and how they look. Especially when you've got your fake eyelashes, your fake nails, your tits out, your stringy hair may have cum in it, because who knows what you had to do to get through life. But it doesn't matter. Like, I don't go around and make judgments on someone who's skinny or someone who's like a really great athlete and say, oh, they probably don't have a life because they're in the gym all the time. That's not my role. I can't make that comment to people, and I certainly should not be posting that sort of thing online for people to see. And I really think all you're doing is trying to get people pissed off enough so that way they talk about your video, and I'm not going to leave a link because you just want YouTube views. That's all it is. You want your YouTube videos to go viral, whether they're good or bad or not. Like, that's all you're trying to get out of it. A shock value, insulting, an easy target. And so I had to make this video, not because I want to give you views, and I know people are going to go looking for it to try and figure out who I'm talking about if they haven't already seen it. But I have to say this because we are such a target. And it's not fair. Like, if you look at TV, if you look at what's the ads that are on all over the place, half of them are for fast food, and half of them are for weight loss. There's pills that are dangerous for our hearts. There's surgeries that could potentially kill us. Diets that practically starve us. Yet we resort to them because we're so desperate. Because we hear these hurtful comments and we become so desperate for things to change, we feel like that's our only option. Maybe if you're like me, who's been big their whole life, has grown up in a big household, where the only constant stability thing that they had in their life was food, then hearing those things just goes to show how little you know about the issue. You may be thinking it's a public service announcement and you're doing us a favor and saying that you love us by saying these really hurtful things. But in actuality, if you really loved us, you wouldn't be such a bitch. And public service announcement, you're not telling us anything we haven't already heard before. You haven't told us anything that we don't tell ourselves every single fucking day. Like, do you really think the majority of the people who are big, okay, there are those people who are big who love it, who absolutely love it, they're in love with their bodies, and how dare you try to take that away from them because they hashtag about it. But for the people who are hurting, who feel like it's an endless cycle, who feel that food is both a reward, is something there to comfort them. Food is such a constant thing. You walk around and it's everywhere. So yeah, it makes sense that 35% of North Americans are overweight. And for you to throw out the word obese without being a doctor is so ignorant. Because I'm considered obese. So you're technically talking to me. I have the BMI index or whatever of an obese person. I'm on the lower end, but doesn't matter. You may be talking to someone who's TLC big, but I'm within that spectrum. And so is a little girl who may already have eating disorders because she doesn't want to be that big, so she's not eating her dinner. You know, you're perpetuating this negativity about body. You're body shaming. You have no right to body shame anybody. Because I bet you've never been big your whole life. I bet you've never had anyone make comments about your size or stare at you because you're enjoying a cheeseburger or whatever. And what's sad, it's that nobody talks about the psychology behind it. I mean, I'm grateful that nowadays we're talking about mental illness, mental health, and being brave in terms of stepping out with who we really are. But no one talks about the psychology around weight gain and weight loss and having a healthy attitude about food. You know, when you get that big, I feel that it could be a matter of feeling hopeless and just feeling that this is how I am, so might as well accept it. And acceptance is a really great thing. It really is. Like, when you walk on the street and you see people who look different from you, you accept them for who they are, and that's beautiful. But acceptance can also be detrimental too. Accepting that this is how I am, I'm big, this is the way it is, I'm never going to change. That's detrimental as well. Because at that point, it's almost as if you've given up and you're hurting. And it's this endless cycle. And it's easy to start. And you have no idea how it can start. Could be a mom who has no time to take care of herself. Could be someone who's going through depression, whose only way of feeling numb is maybe a constant chewing of their favorite whatever. You don't even know what it is. It could be an addiction like alcohol. There's a whole shitstorm that's going on inside that person's head that you have no idea about. And for you to make generalizations is the equivalent of me making a generalization about all Americans being crazy assholes who are egocentric and think that they know what's right in the world. Well, I know that's not true. I know there are great Americans out there. I mean, you're a terrible example of a human being, but it doesn't mean that you speak for everybody. Yeah. So let's talk about fat. Let's talk about why there is plus size. Let's talk about the environment that we live in. The fact that when you go grocery shopping, a bag of chips costs less than an apple. Or cheeseburgers cost more than your regular fruits and vegetables. Every meal that you have when you go out to a restaurant is so loaded with carbs, and the vegetables are the little side garnishes that no one wants. We've grown up in this society that has perpetuated this unhealthy eating, an unhealthy lifestyle. We are the product of our own upbringing. We are the product of our psychology that's going on inside of our head. So I want to know, what was your upbringing like? Did nobody love you? Because you obviously don't know how to show love. That's not love. That's hate. That's intolerance. I really don't want to have to be editing this, so I'm just going to keep talking. You know, when athletic gear doesn't go past a certain size, that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you may want to join the gym, but you look like an idiot because you're wearing whatever fucking fits you, and it looks terrible. You want to have the Lululemon ass, but they don't make it anything past the size 32 waist. Or you want like the running shoes that'll get you going and moving around, but they don't sell wide widths. So there's no one out there really to help us. We're out here struggling on our own, beating ourselves up, and then having to listen to people like you. It really is a shame. It really is a shame that someone like you, who looks beautiful on the outside, with all that spackle put on their face, but is really evil on the inside. Really, really such a shame. And, you know, I've been bigger than this, I've been smaller than this, but it's been my own personal journey. It's my own story. It's my own business. How I am is a reflection of who I want to be, but not everybody has the strength. not to listen to people like you. Not everybody, at the end of the day, when they're surrounded by all sorts of cheap fast food, and they work at a desk, and their life is sedentary because Netflix is so cheap, whereas joining a sports league costs hundreds of dollars per season, or you just don't have the time because you're running a business or you're taking care of somebody, it beats you down. It really does beat you down. And you might resort to shopping and getting your tits out there, making sure everyone can see how fabulous you are. Other people have other ways of consoling themselves, of dealing with the stress. Some people smoke, some people drink, some people eat, some people shop, some people gamble, some people read, meditate. If I could freaking figure out how to meditate, that would be amazing. But my brain is always going, so I can't meditate. So we deal with constant negativity in our everyday lives. From the morning when we try to put on our pants and hoping that they fit and maybe let us look half decent to go into the office, you know. And then if we get past lunch where everyone's bringing in cakes or whatever, or you just run out of time, you have to run through the drive-thru. It's not healthy, but that's the fact of the life that we have today. And if you can get past that, and if somehow you're able to motivate yourself to go get up off the couch and move and try to be a little more active, it's still very discouraging when you look in the mirror and it's not a reflection of how you feel inside. And sometimes it's enough to make you want to give up. And it's a struggle to get over that mind game that people play with themselves. I just said play with themselves. Whatever. It's a constant mind game where we are our own worst enemies. We don't need to be making any more enemies. And we don't need to be hearing detrimental things like what you have to say. So yeah, we hold on to those hashtags. We hold on to anything that will give us inspiration, hope. You know, if we're really struggling and most big people don't like the fact that they're big, so it's a sign that they're struggling, that they're hurting in some way, that they're using food in some way as a drug to fix whatever's hurting inside or whatever issue that they're having inside, or to reward whatever happy feeling they're feeling inside. It's our own battle. And we don't talk about the psychology behind it. Instead, we put ourselves at risk and take pills that hurt our hearts, or go through surgeries that could potentially kill us. Or we listen and watch YouTube videos like this and just die a little on the inside. Because you're not telling us you're not telling us anything we haven't heard before. And I can appreciate if you're trying to get YouTube likes or whatever. I get it. There are those shock jocks, those comedians that are just, will insult whoever for the name of their own comedy or whatever it is. But it's unoriginal. It really is unoriginal, and you need to step up your game. So, that's all I have to say to you. And for everyone who is carrying a little extra flour around, you keep doing you. You do what makes you happy. If being big doesn't make you happy, then you take the steps that you need to gradually get to where you want to be. Little baby steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. But if you're happy the way that you are, don't let stupid bitches like this bring you down. And if you're somewhere in between, listen to what you think is right. I don't know. I'm not very good at public service announcements and all that stuff, but I go through my highs and I go through my lows. And I just feel that enough's enough. Stop targeting us. Stop picking on us. How about you try to understand us a little bit better? Find out why we are the way that we are before you open your mouth. Or how about you just don't open your mouth at all? Because I'm so sick of the ads. So sick of the ads that pop up on my screen, that tell me I can lose 10 pounds in a week, that perpetuate these lies. And it's that stuff that makes us think that there's a quick fix. But there isn't a quick fix. It takes a lifelong journey to always be accountable for what we do and how we act. So I'm being accountable by trying to go out and work out if I can. But trust me, 3 weeks ago I couldn't. I couldn't find the inspiration, I couldn't find the motivation. I was just so incredibly low that I was just accepting that this is just the way it is. But I eventually started to get up. And it wasn't because someone was fat shaming me or bullying me and saying all these hurtful things online to people that they don't even know. It was because I need to be accountable for what I do, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be able to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I look good. I'm not a stick, but I look good and I'm happy with how I look and how I am. And that's the right call for me. Everyone out there has got to make their own right call for them. So this is all I got to say. To the person who posted that original video, you're very ugly.